In this week's 2-minute terrain tutorial, Keith and Greg show you how they made the stunning 8-foot by 6-foot Gettysburg tabletop you saw in last week's war game with the American Battlefield Trust. We started with the 1868 Warren map and scaled it to 1 inch equaling 100 yards. Keith then took a permanent marker and sketched the key features of that map onto 2 sheets of 2-inch thick polystyrene insulation board. You'll also need some 1-inch thick sections of polystyrene to cut out the elevations and hills. Use a knife to angle the edges before using an orbital sander to round them smooth.
Hey! Take it outside!
I warned Keith for a reason. You should definitely use the orbital sander outside. It makes a huge mess. Get the edges off all your hills as low and smooth as possible for a gradual incline. When the hills are dry, you can use caulk to blend the seams and edges, creating a more natural sloping effect. Next, it's time to attach the felt. For this, we spread carpet adhesive all over the board. Critically, do not, I repeat, do not put the adhesive down into the creek beds. More on this in a second. Lay down your felt and gently smooth out any wrinkles. When the felt dries, take scissors and carefully cut along the creeks. You can then fill those creeks with caulk and eventually paint them whatever color you want. You'll see we also pushed some pebbles into the wet caulk beforehand and then added patches of gravel along the banks. A coat of triple thick gives the water a glassy sheen. The roads you see here were first laid out with string. String is easy to reposition as you match the source map, and eventually you can lift the string out of the way as you hand paint the road network with a thin, flat brush. A brown marker represents all the fences at this small scale, and we'll use that to edge the roads and eventually draw field boundaries based on the Warren map. For woods, tear up sections of woodland scenics foliage clusters. We use light and dark green, and then attach them to the felt with a hot glue gun. Hot glue is fast drying and extremely durable. Greg and Keith added a few final touches, including the rocks and gravel you see on Little Round Top. We also flocked about 30% of the fields on the map with 5 different varieties of flock and static grass. Finally, we used some tiny railroad track in TT scale, special ordered from Japan. And that's it, guys. This was a major project that took quite a few hours and dollars to complete. But the final look is truly exceptional. So if you haven't seen our interactive Gettysburg war game yet, be sure to watch this tabletop in action next.
We're all having fun with this. Ed's just looking disturbed and somewhat confused over the phone.